Lesson 1: Securing your valuables.
Hello Anna, have you heard about using a safety deposit box to store important documents and valuables?
Ah, yes, I've been considering getting one. How does it work exactly?
Well, it's a secure storage option at a bank or credit union. You can keep things like your passport, jewelry, or other valuables locked away.
That sounds really convenient. How much does it typically cost to rent one?
The fees can vary, but usually it's around $30 to $100 per year depending on the size of the box.
That's not too bad. Do you have one yourself?
Yes, I've had one for a few years now. It gives me peace of mind knowing my important items are protected.
That's great to hear. I think I'll look into getting one myself. Thanks for the helpful information, John.
Anytime. Let me know if you have any other questions as you're setting it up.
Lesson 2: Appreciating beauty in nature.
Hey Anna, have you noticed the incredible beauty all around us in nature lately?
Definitely. The vibrant colors and intricate details are just mesmerizing.
Absolutely. The way the sunlight plays on the flowers and trees is simply stunning.
I agree. It's amazing how Mother Nature creates such breathtaking sights.
Definitely. And the variety is endless, from lush green forests to dramatic mountain vistas.
Absolutely. There's beauty in even the smallest details, like the delicate petals of a wildflower.
Couldn't agree more. It really makes you appreciate the incredible artistry in the natural world.
Lesson 3: Asking for advice.
Morning, Anna. I've got a question for you. I'm planning a trip and I'm not sure how to go about booking a room. Any tips?
Oh, that's a great question, John. When I'm booking a hotel, I always make sure to read through reviews from other travelers first.
Ah, that's a smart idea. Getting that first-hand perspective is probably really helpful.
Absolutely. I also recommend comparing prices across multiple booking sites to find the best deal.
Good call. Gotta shop around to make sure I'm getting the most bang for my buck.
Exactly. And be sure to consider important factors like location, amenities, and hotel ratings too.
Got it, those are all really key things to keep in mind. I want to make sure I find the perfect fit.
Definitely. Taking the time to do your research upfront will pay off in the end. You'll end up with a great hotel.
I appreciate you sharing all these helpful tips, Anna. I feel much more prepared to tackle the booking process now.
I'm glad I could provide some useful advice, John. Let me know if you have any other questions come up as you're planning your trip.
Will do, thanks again. I'm feeling good about finding a fantastic hotel option.
Lesson 4: Household chores.
Hey Anna, I wanted to ask you about something. How often do you like to clean around the house?
That's a great question, John. I try to stay on top of the household chores regularly. The stove needs a good scrub down every few weeks, and I make sure to clean out the refrigerator and cupboards once a month or so.
Ah, I see. That's a good routine to have. I admit, I'm not always the most diligent when it comes to cleaning.
I can relate. It's easy for things to get a bit neglected, isn't it? But taking the time to tidy up can make such a difference.
You're absolutely right. I should probably be more proactive about it. Any tips on how you stay motivated?
Well, I find that setting aside dedicated cleaning time each week helps a lot. And I try to make it fun by playing some music or podcasts while I work.
Ooh, the music idea is a good one. It can turn it from a chore into more of an enjoyable activity.
Exactly. And I also find that breaking it down into smaller tasks makes it feel more manageable.
That makes sense. Tackling one room or area at a time, rather than trying to do the whole house at once.
Precisely. It's all about finding a cleaning rhythm that works for your lifestyle and personality.
I like that approach. I'll have to give it a try and see if I can get better about staying on top of things.
I'm confident you can do it, John. And remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Small steps can lead to big progress.
Wise words, Anna. Alright, I'm feeling inspired to get my house in order. Thanks for the helpful tips.
Lesson 5: Artistic Endeavors.
Hey, Anna, I've been meaning to ask, are you into any art or creative hobbies?
You know, I actually do enjoy dabbling in a bit of art on the side. I've been wanting to experiment more with different mediums.
That's really cool. What kind of art have you been exploring?
Well, I've done some painting with acrylics, but I'm also really curious about trying out watercolors or even maybe some mixed media.
Boo, mixed media sounds intriguing. What made you want to explore that?
I'm just fascinated by the idea of combining different materials and textures to create something unique. And I've seen some really inspiring examples online.
That makes total sense. I can see the appeal of that kind of artistic freedom.
Exactly. Plus, I have a stash of random art supplies, paints, markers, colored pencils that I've been eager to put to use.
Ah, I see. So you're a bit of a creative hoarder, eh? I can relate to that.
Haha, you got me. I may have a tiny collection of art supplies that I'm dying to dive into.
No judgment here, Anna. I've been wanting to get more into creative hobbies myself.
Oh, really? What kinds of things have you been interested in?
Well, I've always been intrigued by sketching and doodling, but I've never really pursued it seriously.
That's awesome. Sketching can be such a meditative and rewarding practice.
Yeah, I'd love to give it a try. Maybe you could share some of your favorite techniques with me?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to swap tips and inspire each other. Art is all about the journey, after all.
I love that perspective. Alright, let's do it. I'm excited to tap into my inner artist.
Wonderful. This is going to be so much fun. I can't wait to see what you create, John.
Same here, Anna. Thanks for the motivation, I'm feeling inspired already.
Lesson 6, Morning Routines.
Good morning, Anna. Have you had a chance to do your morning exercise yet?
Morning, John. No, not yet. I usually go for a run around this time, but I got a bit of a late start today.
Ah, I see. I try to make my morning workout a priority, but I know it can be tough to fit it in sometimes.
Definitely. It's all about finding that rhythm that works best for your schedule and lifestyle.
Absolutely. For me, getting that exercise in first thing helps set the tone for the rest of the day.
I can relate to that. There's something about starting the day with a bit of physical activity that just energizes you.
Exactly. And it helps me feel more focused and productive as I dive into the workday.
I agree. It's amazing how much of a difference it can make. Do you have a favorite workout routine?
I really enjoy going for a nice, brisk run. It clears my head and gets my blood pumping.
That's great. Running is such a simple yet effective way to stay active.
Definitely. And I find it's a nice way to explore the neighborhood and get some fresh air.
I love that. Sometimes I'll mix it up and do a quick HIIT session or some strength training.
Ooh, HIIT workouts can be killer, but so rewarding. I'll have to give that a try.
Absolutely. It's a great way to pack a lot of intensity into a shorter amount of time.
Sounds perfect for those days when I'm short on time but still want to get a solid workout in.
Exactly. Well, I should probably head out for my run before the day gets away from me.
Good call. Enjoy your workout, Anna. I'll make sure to get mine in too.
Sounds good, John. Have a great rest of your day.
You too, Anna. Catch you later.
Lesson 7, Healthy Workplace.
Hey, Anna, I wanted to get your thoughts on something. What do you think makes a healthy work environment?
That's a great question, John. I believe it's all about striking the right balance between productivity and well-being.
Absolutely. It's not just about getting the work done, but doing it in a way that supports employee health and happiness.
Exactly. Things like having comfortable workspaces, encouraging breaks and exercise, and promoting open communication are key.
I couldn't agree more. Those small touches can make such a big difference in morale and engagement.
Definitely. And I think fostering a culture of mutual respect and support is crucial as well.
Definitely. No one should feel like they're just cogs in a machine, but rather valued members of the team.
Absolutely. When people feel genuinely cared for, they tend to be more motivated and invested in their work.
That's a great point. It's about creating an environment where people can thrive, not just survive.
Precisely. And the benefits of that go beyond just individual well-being, it can translate to better productivity and outcomes.
I couldn't have said it better myself. So, what are some specific ways you think we can cultivate that kind of healthy workplace?
Well, things like offering wellness activities, providing ergonomic furniture, and encouraging open feedback are a good start.
Those are fantastic ideas. I love the notion of making employee wellness a true priority.
Absolutely. It's an investment that pays dividends in the long run, both for the individuals and the organization as a whole.
Definitely. All right, I'm feeling inspired to start implementing some positive changes around here.
That's wonderful, John. I'm excited to see the impact it can have on our team.
Me too, Anna. Thanks for the great chat, I really appreciate your insights.
Lesson 8: Diversity Matters.
Hey, Anna, I've been thinking a lot about diversity in the workplace lately. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a really important topic, John. I believe diversity is crucial for fostering a vibrant, inclusive work environment.
I agree completely. People come in all different shapes, sizes, and backgrounds, and that diversity is what makes us strong.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing and celebrating the unique perspectives and experiences that each person brings to the table.
Definitely. And it goes beyond just surface level differences, like age or gender. It's about embracing the deeper diversity of thoughts, ideas, and approaches.
Exactly. When you have a team with diverse backgrounds and mindsets, it leads to more creative problem solving and innovative solutions.
I love that point. Diversity sparks that cross pollination of ideas that can really take things to the next level.
Absolutely. And it's not just good for the business, it's the right thing to do. Everyone deserves to feel valued and respected for who they are.
Well said, Anna. Inclusion and equity should be at the heart of any healthy workplace culture.
Definitely. It's about making sure everyone has equal opportunities to contribute and grow, regardless of their size, appearance, or other factors.
I wholeheartedly agree. We should strive to create an environment where everyone feels like they belong.
Exactly. And it starts with being proactive about things like hiring practices, training, and company policies that promote diversity and inclusion.
Definitely. It's an ongoing process, but one that's so crucial for building a thriving, equitable organization.
Absolutely. I'm glad we see eye to eye on this, John. It's a topic that's near and dear to my heart.
Me too, Anna. I'm committed to doing my part in championing diversity and inclusion here. It's the right thing to do.
I couldn't agree more. Together, I know we can make a real difference in cultivating a workplace that works for everyone.
Absolutely. All right, let's get to it. The future is bright when we embrace our differences.
Lesson 9: The Digital Age.
Hey, Anna, what are your thoughts on how the internet and social media have impacted our lives?
Ooh, that's a really interesting question, John. I'd say the online world has definitely made information and communication much more accessible.
Absolutely. It's amazing how much we can discover and connect with at the click of a button.
Definitely. Social media, in particular, has really revolutionized the way we stay informed and interact with each other.
Totally. It's opened up so many new avenues for self expression, learning, and community building.
Definitely. And the wealth of information available online can be incredibly empowering.
Definitely. But I suppose there are also some potential downsides to consider, right?
Absolutely. Things like the spread of misinformation and the impact on mental health are valid concerns.
Oh, for sure. It's all about finding that healthy balance and being mindful of how we engage with technology.
Exactly. We have to make sure we're using these tools in a way that enhances our lives, not consumes them.
Definitely. It's a nuanced topic, for sure. But overall, would you say the benefits outweigh the drawbacks?
That's a great question. I'd say it really depends on how we approach and utilize the digital landscape.
Interesting perspective. What do you mean by that?
Well, I think the technology itself is neutral, it's how we choose to engage with it that makes the difference.
Ah, I see what you mean. It's all about being intentional and maintaining balance.
Precisely. When used thoughtfully, the digital world can be a powerful tool for learning, connection, and growth.
I really like that way of looking at it. It's all about finding that sweet spot and not letting it control us.
Absolutely. It's a skill we're all still learning, but one that's so important in this modern era.
Well said, Anna. I'm glad we could explore this topic in a thoughtful way. Lots to ponder there.
Definitely, John. The digital landscape is constantly evolving, but being mindful in our approach is key.
Couldn't agree more. Alright, I'm feeling inspired to be more intentional with my online habits. Thanks for the great chat.
Lesson 10: Heroic Showdowns.
Hey, Anna, I caught that action movie you were recommending the other day. That shootout scene was intense.
Oh, I'm so glad you watched it, John. The good guys really came out on top in that one, didn't they?
Definitely. I love when the heroes triumph over the bad guys. It's so satisfying to see justice prevail.
Absolutely. There's just something about those high stakes, adrenaline fueled showdowns that really gets the blood pumping.
Totally. The way they were dodging bullets and outsmarting the criminals, it was so thrilling to watch.
Definitely. And the special effects were top notch, making it feel like you were right there in the middle of the action.
Absolutely. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, wondering how it was all going to play out.
Same here. Those kinds of edge of your seat moments are why I love action movies so much.
Agreed. There's just something about that sense of unpredictability and high stakes that makes it so captivating.
Definitely. And when the good guys come out on top, it's just so satisfying. You can't help but cheer them on.
Totally. I was rooting for them the whole way. It's always so much more rewarding when the heroes win.
Absolutely. It's like a triumph of good over evil, and that's always a powerful thing to witness.
Well said. Those kinds of heroic showdowns are just so entertaining and inspiring, in a way.
Definitely. They remind us that even in the face of adversity, the righteous can prevail through courage and determination.
Exactly. It's a great message, and so thrilling to see it play out on the big screen.
Definitely. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the movie, John. Heroic action sequences are always a highlight for me.
Same here, Anna. Thanks for the recommendation. I'm already looking forward to our next movie night.
Sounds perfect. I'm sure we'll find another edge of your seat thriller to keep us on our toes.
Absolutely. Bring on the heroic showdowns.
Lesson 11: Intriguing Discoveries.
Hey, Anna, I heard you mention something the other day about an interesting article you read. Care to share?
Oh, absolutely. It was actually a really fascinating piece about some new archaeological discoveries.
Ooh, archaeology, huh? That's right up my alley. What kind of discoveries are we talking about?
Well, apparently they've uncovered some new evidence about the journey of escaped slaves on the Underground Railroad.
Wow, that's really compelling. I'm glad researchers are continuing to shed light on that important part of history.
Definitely. The article went into detail about how the slaves had to travel by night and hide during the day to avoid detection.
Ah, I can only imagine the hardships they must have endured: bad weather, lack of shelter, constant fear of being caught.
Exactly. The article really brought to life the immense bravery and perseverance of those individuals fighting for their freedom.
That's incredible. I'm always in awe of the strength and resilience of the human spirit in the face of such adversity.
Absolutely. It's a powerful reminder of the importance of preserving and learning from our history.
Definitely. So, what else did the article uncover about the specifics of their journey?
Well, it talked about how they had to find creative ways to hide during the day, whether it was in barns, cellars, or other secret locations.
Fascinating. The level of planning and coordination it must have taken to execute such a perilous escape route.
Exactly. The article really emphasized the sheer courage and determination of those freedom seekers.
That's amazing. I'd love to learn more about these new archaeological findings if you have a chance to share the article.
Absolutely, John. I'll make sure to send it your way. I think you'd find it really eye-opening and inspiring.
Wonderful, thanks Anna. This is the kind of history that deserves to be widely known and celebrated.
I couldn't agree more. It's such an important part of our shared past that deserves deeper exploration.
Well, I'm really looking forward to diving into this. Thanks for the great recommendation.
Anytime, John. I'm always happy to discuss fascinating new discoveries like these.
Awesome. All right, let the learning commence.
Lesson 12: Hardships of the Past.
Hey, Anna, I was reading up more on those Underground Railroad discoveries you mentioned the other day. Fascinating stuff.
I'm so glad you found it interesting, John. The stories of those escaped slaves are truly inspiring, but also heartbreaking.
Absolutely. The hardships they endured on their journey to freedom are just unimaginable.
Definitely. The article really highlighted how they had to travel under the cover of darkness, always on the run.
Yeah, and having to hide wherever they could during the day, whether it was a barn or a cellar. That must have been terrifying.
Definitely. And the bad weather they had to contend with, the constant fear of being caught, it's just gut-wrenching to think about.
Absolutely. The strength and resilience of those individuals is really humbling. To risk everything for a chance at freedom.
Exactly. They were willing to face unimaginable dangers and deprivations just for the possibility of a better life.
It's incredible. And I'm glad researchers are continuing to uncover more details about their treacherous journeys.
Definitely. It's so important that we preserve and share these stories, to honor the sacrifices of those brave souls.
Absolutely. It's a crucial part of our collective history that deserves to be widely known and commemorated.
Well said, John. These stories serve as a powerful reminder of the human capacity for courage and determination.
Definitely. And they inspire us to continue the fight for justice and equity, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds.
Exactly. The lessons we can learn from the resilience of those escaped slaves are truly invaluable.
Absolutely. I'm really grateful to have learned more about this important chapter in our history.
Me too, John. It's been eye-opening and humbling. These stories deserve to be remembered and honored.
Definitely. All right, I'm feeling inspired to dive even deeper into this fascinating topic.
Wonderful, John. I'm sure there's so much more we can uncover and appreciate about the heroic journeys of the past.
Absolutely. The more we learn, the more we can strive to build a more just and equitable world.
Lesson 13: Variety is the spice of life.
Hey, Anna, I noticed you brought a pretty interesting looking lunch today. What VE you got there?
Oh, this? It's just a little something I put together with some of the leftovers in the fridge. Lots of variety.
Nice, nice. What kind of options are we talking about here?
Well, let's see, I've got some turkey, a bit of ham, and a few veggie options like roasted peppers and sautéed greens.
Oh, that sounds delicious. I love how you've mixed it up with different proteins and produce.
Definitely. I try to keep a good variety of healthy choices on hand so I can easily put together a balanced meal.
That's a really smart approach. Keeps things interesting and nutritious.
Exactly. I find that having that kind of versatility in the fridge and pantry makes it so much easier to eat well.
I can imagine. Variety is key, especially when you're trying to make healthy choices consistently.
Absolutely. It prevents mealtime from feeling monotonous or restrictive, you know?
For sure. Having those different flavors and textures to choose from must make lunchtime really enjoyable.
Definitely. It allows me to tailor my meals to my mood and appetite on any given day.
That's a great point. Being able to mix and match keeps things feeling fresh and satisfying.
Definitely. And it's helpful for making sure I'm getting a wide range of nutrients in my diet.
Ah, good call. Diversity in your food choices is so important for overall health and wellness.
Exactly. I try to incorporate a rainbow of fruits and veggies, along with lean proteins and whole grains.
Sounds like a winning formula. I'm getting hungry just thinking about all those delicious options.
Haha, well, you're more than welcome to join me for lunch anytime, John. I'd be happy to share.
I might just take you up on that. A little variety in my midday meal could be just what I need.
Perfect. I look forward to it. Variety is the spice of life, after all.
Amen to that, Anna. Alright, I'm officially craving a tasty, well rounded lunch now.
Mission accomplished, then. Enjoy the rest of your day, John.
You too, Anna. Can't wait for our next delicious dining adventure.
Lesson 14, Abundance of Choice.
Wow, Anna, this grocery store really has an impressive selection of products, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I love how much variety they offer. It's great to have so many options to choose from.
I agree. It's almost overwhelming, to be honest. There's just so much to look at.
I know what you mean. It can be a little daunting at first, but I find it exciting.
You're right, it is exciting. It's like being a kid in a candy store, in a way.
Haha, exactly. With all these choices, I'm sure we'll be able to find exactly what we need.
That's a good point. Having this kind of selection definitely makes it easier to get everything on our list.
Definitely. And it's not just the essentials, there are so many specialty and gourmet items too.
Oh, I noticed that. It's like they've got every type of condiment, spice, and snack imaginable.
I know, it's impressive. It really caters to all kinds of tastes and dietary preferences.
Absolutely. It's great that they're able to accommodate such a wide range of customers.
Agreed. It's so nice to have a grocery store that goes above and beyond in terms of selection.
For sure. This is definitely one of the more diverse and well-stocked stores I've been to.
Me too. It's going to make our shopping trip today a real pleasure.
I couldn't agree more. Alright, let's dive in and see what culinary wonders we can discover.
Lesson 15, Budgeting Basics.
Hey, Anna, I had a quick question about the cost of this trip. Do you happen to know how much we're looking at spending today?
Good question. I'd estimate around $300, give or take, based on our usual grocery budget.
Okay, 300, got it. And when do we need to have that paid by?
Well, the due date for this month's grocery bill is usually the 15th, if I recall correctly.
Ah, perfect. That gives us a couple of weeks to make sure we have everything covered.
Exactly. That should give us plenty of time to budget accordingly and make the payment on time.
Great, that's really helpful to know. I want to make sure we don't run into any issues with the timing.
Definitely. It's always good to be proactive about managing our finances, especially for essentials like groceries.
Absolutely. I appreciate you providing those details, it helps me feel more organized and prepared.
Of course, I'm happy to share that information. Staying on top of our budget is important for both of us.
Agreed. Alright, well, let's get shopping and stick to that $300 target, shall we?
Sounds good. I'm sure we can find everything we need and stay within our budget.
Awesome. Lead the way, Anna. I'm right behind you.
Wonderful, let's do this. I'm ready to maximize our grocery shopping trip.
Fantastic. This is going to be a smooth and successful outing, I can just feel it.
Lesson 16, Beachwear Banter.
Hey, Anna, I couldn't help but notice your brother's beach attire, swimming trunks, huh?
Oh yes, he loves to keep things casual and comfortable when he's at the beach.
I can understand that. Though I have to say, I tend to be a bit more dressed up when I go.
Really? What's your go-to beachwear then? I'm curious to hear about your style.
Well, I usually opt for a nice skirt and a blouse. I like to look a little more put together.
That's a great look. I can see why you prefer that over just trunks.
Exactly. I like to feel polished, even when I'm relaxing by the water.
I can appreciate that. Everyone has their own comfort level and preferred aesthetic.
Absolutely. And it's fun to see the different ways people choose to dress for the beach.
Definitely. It adds to the whole experience and atmosphere, in my opinion.
I agree. Plus, it's a great way to express your personal style and preferences.
Completely. There's no right or wrong way to beach attire, as long as you feel confident.
Well said, Anna. I'm glad we see eye to eye on this casual yet stylish beach fashion.
Me too. It's been fun comparing our perspectives on beachwear.
Definitely. I enjoy these little discussions about our different tastes and habits.
Same here. It's always interesting to learn about each other's unique approaches.
Agreed. Alright, shall we head out and put our beach looks on display?
Lesson 17, Strength and Unity.
Hey, Anna, I wanted to ask you, how do you stay so motivated and productive, even when the workload gets heavy?
Well, John, I find that having a strong support system makes all the difference. I rely a lot on the people around me.
That's a great point. It must be so valuable to have that network of colleagues and friends to lean on.
Definitely. I know I could never do it all on my own. It really takes a team effort.
I can imagine. Sometimes the tasks can be overwhelming, even for the most dedicated worker.
Absolutely. That's why I make sure to ask for help when I need it. I'm not afraid to delegate or collaborate.
That's a wise approach. Trying to power through everything alone can quickly lead to burnout.
Exactly. I've learned that it's okay to admit when I'm feeling stretched thin. My colleagues are always there to lend a hand.
That's fantastic. It's inspiring to hear how you've built that supportive network around you.
Thank you, John. And I encourage you to do the same. We all need that extra boost sometimes.
You know, you're right. I tend to try to handle things on my own, but maybe I should be more open to collaboration.
I think that would really benefit you. Tackling challenges together can make them feel so much more manageable.
I agree. Alright, I'm going to make a conscious effort to reach out more and leverage the strengths of those around me.
That's wonderful, John. I have no doubt you'll see a real difference in your productivity and overall well-being.
I appreciate you taking the time to share your perspective. It's really motivated me to rethink my approach.
I'm so glad to hear that, John. Remember, we're all in this together. Don't hesitate to tap into that support.
Definitely. Thanks, Anna. Here's to working smarter, not harder.
Lesson 18, Fly away to Galveston.
Hey, Anna, I heard you're planning a trip to Galveston soon. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. I'm really looking forward to it. I've heard such great things about the city.
That's awesome. I've been there a few times myself, and it's a wonderful place to visit.
Oh, great. Do you have any recommendations for me in terms of how to get there?
Absolutely. There are several airlines that fly direct to Galveston's airport, which is really convenient.
Wonderful, that's good to know. I'll have to look into flight options and schedules.
Definitely. And the airport is quite close to the main attractions, so getting around is easy.
Perfect, that's really helpful information. I want to make sure I plan an efficient and enjoyable trip.
I'm sure you will. Galveston has so much to offer: the beaches, the historic district, the seafood.
It sounds like a dream. I can't wait to experience it all for myself. Any other tips you can share?
Let me think. Oh, I'd recommend packing light and comfortable clothing. The weather is usually quite pleasant.
Good call. I'll definitely keep that in mind as I start planning my wardrobe for the trip.
Awesome. And don't forget to factor in some time to just relax and soak up the coastal vibes.
Absolutely, that's a must. I want to really immerse myself in the Galveston lifestyle.
I think you'll love it. It has such a unique and charming character.
I'm sure I will. I appreciate you sharing these helpful tips, John. It's making me even more excited for this trip.
I'm glad I could provide some useful insights. Enjoy your time in Galveston.
Lesson 19, Seizing the Moment.
Hey, Anna, I wanted to run something by you. I've been thinking about that sales plan we discussed the other day.
Oh, excellent. What are your thoughts on it? I'm excited to hear your perspective.
Well, I think it's a solid plan, but I was wondering if there might be a way to execute it even more effectively.
Interesting. What did you have in mind? I'm always open to ways we can optimize our strategy.
I was thinking we could try to really boost the sales numbers in an even shorter time frame.
Oh, I see what you're getting at. That would be a great way to achieve our goals even faster.
Exactly. I feel like if we really put our heads together, we could come up with a way to accelerate the plan.
I love that energy, John. Let's dive in and see what we can brainstorm to make that happen.
Awesome, I'm excited to get started. I think with our combined expertise, we can make some real magic happen.
Absolutely. This is the kind of challenge I thrive on. I'm ready to put in the work and see results.
Fantastic. Alright, let's map out the specifics and start putting this plan into action.
Sounds good. I have a great feeling about this. We're going to absolutely crush these sales targets.
I couldn't agree more. This is our moment to shine, Anna. Let's seize it.
Yes, let's do it. I'm fired up and ready to execute this flawlessly.
That's the spirit. Alright, let's get to it. I can't wait to see what we're able to achieve.
Lesson 20, Embracing Diversity.
Hey, Anna, I wanted to talk to you about something I've been reflecting on lately.
Of course, what's on your mind? I'm always happy to lend an ear.
Well, I've been thinking a lot about the importance of embracing diversity, both in our personal lives and in our work.
That's a wonderful topic to explore. I completely agree that diversity is such a crucial element.
Absolutely. I feel like it's something that can really enrich our experiences and perspectives.
I couldn't agree more. When we open ourselves up to different backgrounds and viewpoints, it can be truly transformative.
Definitely. I've found that approaching situations with an open and curious mindset makes all the difference.
Definitely. And it's not just about tolerating diversity, but actively celebrating and learning from it.
Well said. I think too often, people can be resistant to things that are unfamiliar or different.
You're so right. But when we meet that diversity with faith, courage, patience, and gratitude, amazing things can happen.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that our differences are what make us stronger as a collective.
Exactly. There's so much we can gain by embracing the unique perspectives and experiences that others bring to the table.
Couldn't agree more. I feel like this is such an important mindset to cultivate, both professionally and personally.
I wholeheartedly agree. It's a journey, but one that's so rewarding and fulfilling.
Well said. I'm grateful to have had this conversation with you, Anna. It's really inspired me.
That makes me so happy to hear, John. I'm glad we could reflect on the power of embracing diversity together.
Me too. Here's to continued growth, understanding, and the celebration of our differences.
Beautifully said. I'm excited to see where this mindset takes us, both as individuals and as a team.
Absolutely. The future is bright when we approach it with open hearts and minds.
Couldn't agree more. Let's keep this dialogue going, there's so much more to explore on this topic.
I'm in, Anna. This is just the beginning of a really meaningful conversation.
Lesson 21, Name Game.
Hey, Anna, I've been meaning to ask, what's your dog's name again?
Oh, my dog's name is Luna. What about you, do you have a pet?
Yeah, I do. His name is Max. He's a real bundle of energy.
Ah, Max sounds like a fun pup. How long have you had him?
Actually, I've had Max for a few years now. He's been a great companion.
That's wonderful. I've had Luna for about a year, and she's brought so much joy to my life.
I can imagine. The unconditional love of a pet is really special, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's amazing how they can just brighten your day with their presence.
Definitely. Max is always there to greet me with that wagging tail. It's the best.
I can relate. Luna has the sweetest little bark that just melts my heart.
Ah, I bet. Pets really do have a way of worming their way into our affections, don't they?
They sure do. I don't know what I'd do without my little Luna now.
Same here with Max. He's become such an important part of my life.
I love that. It's so great that we both have these furry friends to share our lives with.
Agreed. Pets really do have a way of enriching our experiences, don't they?
Absolutely. I'm glad we got to bond over our beloved companions today.
Me too, Anna. Talking about our pets has been a real highlight of my day.
Lesson 22, Mindful Moments.
Hey, Anna, I wanted to ask you about something I've been noticing lately.
Of course, what is it? I'm happy to lend an ear.
Well, I feel like I've been spending too much time mindlessly scrolling on my phone, even when I don't really need to.
Ah, I know exactly what you mean. I've caught myself doing the exact same thing.
It's almost like a reflex, isn't it? We just automatically reach for our phones without even thinking about it.
Definitely. It's become such a habit, but it's not always the best use of our time and attention.
Exactly. I've been trying to be more mindful about when and how I use my phone, but it can be challenging.
I completely agree. It's a tough habit to break, but it's so important for our well-being.
Absolutely. I feel like it's something a lot of us struggle with these days.
For sure. I've even noticed it can impact my productivity and focus at times.
Ugh, yes, that's a big one for me too. I find myself getting distracted by notifications or just mindless scrolling.
I hear you. It's so easy to get sucked into that digital vortex, even when we have important things to do.
Exactly. I think it's time for both of us to be a bit more intentional about our phone usage.
I couldn't agree more. We need to find that balance and make sure our devices aren't ruling our lives.
Definitely. Any tips you found helpful in curbing that mindless phone habit?
A few things have worked for me. Putting my phone in another room during focused work time, for example.
Ooh, that's a good one. I'll have to try that. Anything else?
Also, setting specific times to check social media or emails, rather than just constantly refreshing.
Ah, yes, that makes a lot of sense. Establishing those boundaries is key.
Exactly. It takes some discipline, but it's so worth it to reclaim our attention and presence.
I'm with you. Alright, I'm feeling motivated to make some changes. Thanks for the great advice, Anna.
Lesson 23, Tackling Tight Timelines.
Hey, Anna, I wanted to revisit that sales plan we've been working on. I'm a bit concerned about the timeline.
Oh, I see. What are your thoughts? I'm open to exploring ways we can optimize the plan.
Well, I'm worried that we may not be able to realistically meet the goals within the 2-week timeframe we had initially discussed.
I can understand your concern there. That is a pretty tight timeline we had set.
Exactly. I'm afraid we may need to adjust the plan to give us a bit more breathing room.
That's a fair point. Let's take a step back and see what we can do to make it more achievable.
Sounds good. I'm happy to brainstorm some potential solutions with you.
Absolutely. I'm confident that if we put our heads together, we can find a way to make this work.
I appreciate your positivity, Anna. Okay, let's start by re-evaluating the specific targets and deadlines.
Good idea. Maybe we can stretch the timeline out a bit without compromising the overall objectives.
Exactly. And perhaps there are areas where we can streamline or optimize certain processes.
Definitely. I'm sure there are opportunities for us to work smarter, not just harder.
Definitely. I'm eager to dive in and see what we can come up with.
Me too, John. This is the kind of challenge I really enjoy tackling.
Excellent. Alright, let's get to it then. I'm feeling good about our ability to find a viable solution.
Absolutely. With our combined expertise, I know we'll find a way to make this plan a resounding success.
I couldn't agree more. Okay, let's get started, the clock is ticking.
Lesson 24, Budgeting Brilliance.
Morning, Anna. I wanted to discuss the budget for our upcoming project. Do you have a few minutes?
Absolutely, John. I'm happy to go over the budget details with you. What's on your mind?
Well, I'm trying to get a clear picture of exactly what resources we'll need and how much they'll cost.
Great, let's dive in. What kind of information are you looking for specifically?
I'd love to get a better sense of the must-have items and their associated costs within our budget.
Okay, got it. I can definitely help you determine the essential components and their availability.
Fantastic. And of course, we'll need to make sure everything aligns with our overall budgetary constraints.
Exactly. We'll need to carefully balance our needs and priorities with the resources we have available.
Absolutely. So, what do you think would be the best approach to tackle this?
Let me think. I think the first step would be to make a comprehensive list of everything we need.
Great idea. That will give us a solid foundation to work from.
Definitely. And then we can research pricing and availability for each item on the list.
Right, so we can assess what's feasible within our budget parameters.
Precisely. That way, we can make informed decisions about our resource allocation.
Wonderful. I'm really eager to get this figured out. What do you think our next steps should be?
Well, I'd suggest we set aside some dedicated time to go through the list and crunch the numbers.
Sounds good. Shall we plan a meeting later today to dive into this in more detail?
Yes, that works for me. I'm confident that together, we can come up with a solid budgeting plan.
Fantastic. I really appreciate you taking the time to walk through this with me, Anna.
Of course, John. I'm glad we can collaborate to ensure we have the resources we need for success.
Absolutely. All right, let's get to it. I'm excited to see what we can accomplish.
Lesson 25, Lifelong Learners.
Hey, Anna, I wanted to ask you, how do you stay motivated to keep learning and growing?
That's a great question, John. I find that constantly seeking feedback and new challenges is key.
That makes a lot of sense. It's easy to get complacent if you're not pushing yourself.
Exactly. I'm always trying to identify areas where I can improve or expand my knowledge.
I admire that drive to keep evolving. Do you have any specific strategies you use?
Well, I try to be really open to constructive criticism, both from colleagues and mentors.
That's a wise approach. Embracing feedback, even when it's tough, can be so valuable.
Absolutely. And I make a point to set incremental goals for myself, so I'm making steady progress.
I love that. Breaking things down into manageable steps seems like a great way to stay motivated.
Definitely. It helps prevent me from feeling overwhelmed or discouraged.
That makes a lot of sense. And how do you handle conflicts or setbacks along the way?
I try to stay positive and view them as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than obstacles.
That's such a great mindset. Maintaining that resilience must be crucial.
It is. And I always remind myself that a bit of struggle is part of the process.
Wise words, Anna. It's inspiring to hear you talk about your approach to continuous learning.
Thank you, John. It's something I'm really passionate about. I believe we should never stop growing.
I couldn't agree more. You're setting a fantastic example, and I appreciate you sharing your insights.
I'm happy too. Lifelong learning is so important, and I'm glad I could provide some helpful perspective.
Definitely. This has been a really insightful conversation. I feel motivated to embrace that same mindset.
That's wonderful to hear, John. I'm sure you'll do great things if you keep that spirit of curiosity.
I appreciate the encouragement. Here's to staying curious and never stopping learning.